Don't say that, please.
Okay, you're live.
My energy has been bad enough. Oh my goodness! Look, and we live. Look at that. I did a little, and now we live. Look at that. Welcome to another edition of Corner Cauldron with me, Bobby, and my co-host, my brother from another mother, my WT, my wonder twin, Jim Spillin. And how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. You're doing good, Buff. Doing
What
good.
was that all about?
I don't know. It's been a weird day on getting things done and getting like things finish up too soon, and this was going to happen, going to do that. It's one of those typical days. Just that's why I never make plans because plans always get ruined. Just go, make it happen. I don't know. That's what I do. You all right? Uh-oh.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. I did check my internet connection. Y'all can't tell me not to check my internet connections up in here. Listen, people.
Listen, paper.
You know, it's been one of those days today.
Yeah, you had some.
It's probably mine. It's mine. It's mine. This is just a carryover from what happened today at work. Oh lordy,
that was a mess.
That was a mess. For people who don't know what I do before we get into the topics of this, and hi, I'm at work and only dropping in for a few minutes. I can't believe it, Margie. You've got to watch this back because this was your topic, honey bunny. I mean, you made me do arts and crafts like Bob Ross up in here. Hey Margie. Yeah, so sometimes I can't help when energy follows me.
Right.
Sometimes it's an emotional thing with me. Like if I'm too stressed out or I'm too high, things happen and the shit hits the fan. You know, it's ridiculous. So today I have been, my whole weekend just was disaster city, except for the hairdo. So I actually went to our water fountain, our electric water fountain, to get water out of it. And I got myself a cool, refreshing paper cup full of water. And I had a moment, and the glass on the water cooler shattered into a million pieces in front of me. Luckily it didn't get me in the eye, and luckily I kept my mouth closed, which is very rare for me to keep my mouth closed, but it happened. And glass went everywhere, and every doctor and every nurse from every corner went running, like, what the hell just happened? And I'm like, sorry, it was me. Sorry. And immediately everybody that's worked with me for years went, I'm staying away from you today because you've got issues today. And I'm like, yeah, apparently. Who knew? Any mahoodles. Welcome to Arts and Crafts Evening with yours truly and my cohort, thing one and thing two. Margie, you had me doodling my fingers down to the very bones on this subject, ma'am, and we got a lot to cover tonight. You're going to have to come back and watch it later when you have to leave. However, oh my goodness, please do not shame me in my art. Okay, this was an all weekend doodling moment.
Okay.
We were doodling, and I was working my fingers to the bone, my bare bones. We had a topic that our family member Margie decided that she wanted to talk about tonight, and that is sigils. Okay, we're gonna be talking about sigils tonight, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that we were going to be talking about sigils?
I didn't know we were going to be talking about sigils. Sigils.
She needs sigil help. Oh, thank you. Thank Tim. I thank you so much about loving that hair. Um, you need sigil help? Let me tell you, honey, there is a sigil. There is this is why I said this may be more than a one-parter. Okay. Every pagan group. Now, when I say the word pagan, let's everybody remember that if you were not one of the three uh base religions, you are considered pagan. So those three base religions are Jewish, Christianity, Islam. So if you're not a practicing Muslim, you do not practice your Judaism, and you're not a Christian, girl, guess what you are? You a pagan. Welcome to the family. That is by that is by standard. The Catholic Church and other religious groups only see the three main religious groups as being within that foundation. So if you were anywhere outside of that foundation, you are considered, in all technical terms, pagan. So with that being said, there are a multitudes of sigils. You have Wiccan sigils, you have neo-paganistic sigils, you have Taoist sigils, you have Buddhist sigils, you have Hindi sigils. You also have alchemaic sigils.
Good
What I
Lord.
mean by alchemaic, yes, and each one of them can have anywhere from 100 to 5,000 different pictures, meaning something completely different. Um, Alchemaic sigils were developed way back in the medieval times. So if you remember Merlin, the times
Mhm.
of Merlin, and all those times way back when, kings usually had an alchemist living in the castle. That alchemist was thought to have brought riches to the king by turning rocks, lead, things like that into gold by way of alchemy, which is a science that they could make gunpowder out of things, magically transform stuff. So if you want to say they were the king's like that goes hand in hand. So there are alchemaic uh, sigils. The reason there were was to help the magician or the alchemist create recipes. So they would make pictures of things. There are certain sigils for vinegar, water, lead, fire, dirt, air. There are alchemaic sigils for elements like mercury, lead, silver, gold, all that. So, we're going to get down to the brass tacks of sigils, and I chose several sigils to talk about. Tonight, we're going to do just Wiccan sigils. Make it
Okay.
easy on everybody. Okay. So, I'm going to get into a rant and I'm going to let you go. So when we talk about sigils, sigils in the word rune cannot be used interchangeably. Those are two different things. Runes were created by mostly the Nordic people, such as the Norse pagans. Even though they came from the same original spot, the Norse took it and ran with it. Um, both are ancient symbol systems. So each one has their own separate ancient system, or drawing system. They're a symbolic system. Sigils are used in magic, while runes are used specifically for divination. Now, some people say, "What's the difference?" Because I thought all people that could do witchcraft could do divination. Not exactly. Okay, divination is when you want, um, you are calling specific deities. You are praying to deities. You want them to show up, divining, to divine things, to make them appear. Okay. Uh, Sigils are used in magic. They can be used to protect things. They can be used in combination as you are casting or you're doing something that is ritualistic. You are altar working, those things. Um, what is a sigil's purpose? Sigil's purposes are used to harness positive energy and will it into action. All right. The method is to create a unique image based on an intention in your head, right? Like, are you wanting to protect yourself? Are you trying to ward off evil? Are you trying to bring forth good luck? Are you trying to bring forth love? Those types of things. Your intention. What are you intending to do with this? What you're doing, right? In your practice or your spell casting, or in what some would the old versions would say, in your making. What are you doing? Um, with that, once you've created that symbol, you charge it and you force it into action by your will.
You're freezing up,
So
Buff. If
remember
you can hear
when
me.
we said this, this, myself. Okay, there we go again. I was stuck for a minute. Uh, the history of runes were invented or started in use in Mesopotamian civilizations. Now, hold on for your hats, people. In
Here we go.
Mesopotamian civilizations, we're talking way back prior to the Tower of Babel. Um, you kind of let's see here. So what else? You keep breaking up,
Yeah, I don't know if
but
you can
that's
hear me. You keep freezing
just
up.
my internet's. The word bleh, sigillum. So if everybody can hear that, I know I'm breaking up. My internet's the most horrible thing. Verizon, I'm gonna ask you if you can hear me now. Um, the Latin word sigillum, which means to seal. They represent goals or resolutions. Uh, Runes are used for divination and spiritual guidance to tap into personal intuition. When user you're divining, you were asking, all right. So, if everybody can follow me, so what was your understanding, bro, of sigils? Oh, so we lost Jimmy for a minute. He'll come back eventually. Uh, you know, we did lose him for a hot minute, but he'll come back. So that is the basis of the difference between sigils and runes. Okay. They there I am again. They can't be used. So if you were to say, I'm going to throw runes, you can throw runes to divine specific gods to help you contact the spirit world. Something that is extremely Norse. And I'm going to stop there because I don't want you guys to get completely confused by any of that. They sure did. Let's see if we can get Jimmy back real quick. We're going to do this real quick and see. We lost everybody. I'm live all by my dang self. Well, how you like that?
I think I'm back. Mike, can you see me?
Oh, here's Jimmy. Look, Jimmy coming back real quick. Hey,
Okay.
hey,
I
welcome back.
On this freaking computer. Next thing I know, I'm like,
My goodness.
cyberspace.
We're having a hard time. We're having such a hard time. Oh my goodness. I'm off stage. Let me see if that helps with the signal. Tim said he was going offline just to see if that helps with the signals. So, as I was asking, as you so rudely dipped on me, sir, so rudely dipped, what was your understanding of sigils before all that?
So I really didn't have an understanding of sigils. That was mainly, I never really gave them any thought. To me, they were just, not just, but they were along the lines of symbols that people had. And I didn't really make a difference between a sigil and other symbols out there. And then the absolute, the deep end you can go. I mean, there is no bottom to what you can do with a sigil as far as drawing it or creating it or having the intentions. I found that what I did find interesting that it really only attends to two emotions. I'll use the word. It's not the right word, but you guys understand when I say the. But it really sigils. What I'm learning is that they really play on like the respect to people.
Yes.
But they are what I found when I'm going is they were designed really to really lend into either desire or lust. Was basically the root of sigils and what you're doing with them. But they do it. They don't really want the lust is the bad because that's where the bad side rears its ugly head and it goes against like I'll say it, humanity. I don't know what word I'm looking to say, but like respect for your fellow human. Whereas the desire is kind of like the more positive side of the sigils, and they are what you desire so that you have positive, unlike lust, which could be negative and just downright nasty. It's not a true. I don't see if you're using your sigil for lust. I don't see you using a sigil for the true use of what I know now is what the sigil should be used for, and how the symbolism goes. So it's and it goes, and it really kind of the other part about it what I found interesting was it doesn't the sigil and what you empower it to do.
Trying to do basically. Okay. So I did you were on the right track. I think right about sigils. Sigils for me started out as a way of protecting whatever I was doing. Okay.
Right.
Warding off prying eyes, people from other people saying them. Okay, there are glamour spells that you can do on paper, sigils, in order to keep people able to read your spells. That leads into what we call the Theban alphabet or the witch's alphabet. Many, many moons ago, during the 3rd century, when people were being labeled as heretics or as blasphemers against the church, those who actually practiced witchcraft, including those who were considered medicine people,
Hmm.
would write down their ingredients or messages to each other in something called a Theban alphabet. That Theban alphabet was very difficult for people to understand because you have characters, just like you have a Chinese alphabet or a Japanese alphabet, where a character will not stand just for one letter, but it's for an entire word. Um, and witches, backwoods witches, actually taught themselves this language and published it, or didn't so much publish it. I think publishing is the wrong word. They taught it to their children by word of mouth, and by doing it. And that is how a lot of them escaped being put in jail. They escaped being burned at the stake. They escaped being drowned for being heretics of the church. All right, you do you, Margie. You can come back and watch it and take notes. My goodness. Um, so with that being said, that's how they got messages back and forth to each other, to warn each other, to keep their spells safe during those times. And what I did was I actually drew. I will tell you, Margie, I love you to death, girl. But listen, don't make fun of my arts and dang crafts.
Oh.
So we're going to start off with something that's really simple, which is this right here. So if you can see it, it is not my best work. It is supposed to represent a leaf. And that
I see
leaf
it.
has swirls in the inside of it, and it stands for inner peace, right? One way that the swirls are going in one direction represents getting out the bad stuff. So when we say something is Windershins, so for you it will be opposites. But if I am calling into myself something, I am doing it this way. So I'm doing it from right to left. And you can do this with water. You can do it with your morning coffee. So as you're stirring your morning coffee, you're calling into yourself. You are praying. So I would say something as simple as, by earth, air, fire, and sea, I call in peace and tranquility. I call them into me as I am drawing in. So the swirls are going in towards you, right?
Right.
If you want something to leave you, you do it opposites, Windershins. It's going away from you. So things like bad luck, things like envy, anything that you can think of bad that you're trying to get rid of. And you would say the same thing. By earth, air, fire, and sea, I call XYZ envy out of me, and I want it to leave now. Okay. So you will see that on this piece of paper that the swirls are going in opposite directions. One representing the bad going out and one representing the good going in. So that stands for inner peace. Okay. So I'm only going to go through some of these. This one here, this is the one. Woo, baby. This is called luck. This is a sigil for luck. All right. So say you wanted to call in good luck to yourself, right? So what you're going to do is you are going to do a burning that night at your altar. What you would do is take a bay leaf, right? Take a green candle, all right? You would anoint that candle with things like basil, rosemary oil, uh, good luck oil that you got at your local metaphysical store. You would anoint that candle, the green candle, dip it in oil, right? And you're going to write on it with a knife, a pen. Um, let's say you would use a toothpick, you could do it and write what you are trying to manifest in good luck, right? Just say you can write the words good grade on test around the candle, right? So I take that bay leaf, I would draw this sigil on it, I would wrap it with a green thread, any kind of green thread, even green yarn would work, whatever you got. Wrap it around the candle. Set the candle in a fire safe dish and then light it and watch it completely burn all the way down, even the bay leaf, right? And as you're watching the flame, you're manifesting, you're envisioning good luck coming to you on that test. So that could be a sigil for good luck.
Now, let me ask you this before you get to your next sigil. You've got two drawings there for your sigils.
You had a question?
Where do you, as the person who's looking for the luck, is that so? First of all, the last one, the good luck one, is that a standard, like commercially available sigil, or is that something that you, as a individual, would have to come up with and conjure on your own? For because I read you can do sigils where you kind of sit there and you get into like
Mhm.
um, a I cannot remember big words today. Um,
That's
meta,
okay.
meta, 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 meta,
Metaphysical?
meditate.
Metaphysical, not metastatic. We're not talking about cancer, please. Not metastatic. Good Lord.
I'm trying to think.
Jesus.
I'm
Woo today.
meditates. Meditation's what the word I wanted. Jesus. Holy
Okay.
chiquita.
I'm here going, I'm like playing charades here with you. Metastatic, metamucil.
Yeah, looks like.
No. When I
Hey,
said metaphysical, you
I need luck. I
I
need luck.
can't listen.
Hello.
No.
I read
Welcome to the next hour of the show.
dignifieds are done. Um, but like,
Oh dear Lord.
do you meditate to get your own sigil, or do you go out there and, like I said, in a half jokingly way, the commercial sigils that are readily available that are already
Mm-hmm.
luck and inner
Mm-hmm.
peace that you just showed? It's because I've read where you can do them on paper, you can do them on wood, depends on how permanent you want it to be. And typically, when a sigil does what it's supposed to do, what I've seen is you're supposed to destroy that sigil. And that's why it
You can.
suggests a lot of them on paper because you can just burn that.
Mhm.
If I burn it into wood
Yes.
or something like that, then a little more difficult to destroy. But again, so do you go in? I read you
It
kind of go into like a state where you kind of let the symbol almost like come to you as you do it, and then that's your symbol.
Mhm. Well,
You know. So,
I'm going to tell you you're right on both accounts. Okay. This sigil
oh,
that I woo! This sigil right here is a very old ancient symbol. There is a book of old ancient sigils
okay.
that was started way back in the medieval times with certain witches. That's
Okay.
when paganism was just you were a pagan. Period. Yeah, with the exception of the druids, which druids are druids. Um, But there were books of sigils that were made by, you know, a group of people and then it traveled across the country.
Gotcha.
It got too hard, for everyone to remember all the sigils, and it got too hard, to keep them safe. A better way of doing it at this point, to make it more, um, your style or more customized to yourself is just like you said, to sit and meditate, right? Manifest
Mhm.
on that, pardon me, on that good luck, and whatever comes to you in a vision or feels right. You know, if you're just doodling and it feels right, use it. That's your sigil for what you want it to mean. Remember in the very beginning when we were learning about definitions, we said that that it's to create a unique image,
Right.
right? So you can create that image. What I don't agree with is you have to burn it or you have to get rid of it. You have to get rid. No, you don't. No, you don't. What about um the Norse who create sigils and runes at the same time? One that is interchangeable is the algiz, which looks like a Y with a stick coming out of the top. So it's got three little prongs, right? Looks like a Y. The algiz is for protection. They do not destroy those. Those are put on every window and every door. So anything that could have an entryway and exit way, um, windows, doors, they would put an algaes on it as a form of protection. So what it was doing, that algaes was keeping the good coming in, but stopping the negativity from coming in.
Oh, okay.
So it's a protective sigil, but it can also be used as a rune. There are some, that's why I didn't want to go through all of that tonight, because then we get into like what can be considered a sigil and a rune and all this good stuff kind of thing. Um, but that is a typical sigil for protection. When been on cases, what I've done for people that have had mirrors in their houses or been able to see nasty spirits or demon in the mirrors, because we know that mirrors are a form
Mhm.
of, you know, transportation for them. If they were able to be removed, what I would do is take them off, put an algaes on the back, and put it back up. You don't say it, right? And
Okay.
you don't have to have any specific kind of material. Um, I told somebody that I know when she was having issues with protection that she said, "I don't have a pen handy. I don't know what to do with this. I don't have a magic marker and I don't have XYZ." I said, Do you have eyeliner?" She looked at me and said, "That I do have." I said, "Take your black eyeliner, put an algaes on your mirror. If it's stationary, like it's stuck on the wall, you can't get it off, put it in the right-hand corner of the mirror. Tiny, you know, so it's not really noticeable, but you know it's there. That's keeping the bad spirits from coming in. It is a form of protection. Um, so that is one way. I don't think that you have to burn them necessarily. I don't subscribe to that. There are some that will say that I am wrong, and I think it's pretty much to each your own.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what? I've done protection sigils. I do pyrography. You know, I've done the burnings on the the wood.
Mhm.
I draw, and a lot of them are they have sigils on them that I keep as forms of protection for myself. Even the Hindus. The Hindus use the Om Hamza, which is the hand with the three fingers and the two that are spread out.
Okay.
and it has a mandala on the inside. That is called an Om Hamza. That is for protection and peace or inner peace into yourself. Um, and it is a prize sign that you see in India a lot of times. Any place that has that's particularly Hindu, some of their meeting places, their Hindu temples will have Om Hamza on them, and that is also a form of meditation. They use that Om Hamza in their meditative states. When they meditate, the gurus will have an Om Hamza either near them uh, or actually paint it on them when they do their meditative prayer, when they're speaking to their gods, when they are communicating with them, or when they're in a shamanistic state and they're trying to help someone and they're speaking to their ancestors. That protects them. So I don't think you necessarily have to burn it
Yeah,
if
I
you are
think
doing something else. Yeah.
I just think that's each individual thing that,
Yeah.
depending on how you see that piece. So like I said, it's suggested by some of the readings I saw today that you would burn or destroy that sigil because
Mhm.
essence what they're saying is it did what it needed to do for you. It's done with you at that point in time. So
Yep.
if you look at it like that, it's like, well, why are you hanging around then? But
Yeah.
if it's still working, like you
Mhm.
suggested with up in the mirror to protect out the evil from the mirror and everything. If
Right.
it's still working, obviously you don't
Mhm.
destroy it. They don't go on a 5 day, you know, jihad and take care of all the troubles and everything, and then it's
No.
destroyed in 5 days.
No.
I think you can build your own library of these sigils
True.
to call upon. Um,
True.
and that's the way I see sigils because I almost look at a sigil as like I don't know if I'm going to get yelled at or not, but I don't know. I look at a
Go
sigil
ahead.
as is it like a talisman? Is it like a the Amish where they put those the circles above their barns and everything? You know,
A heck of signs. Yeah.
yeah. So it's there's a lot out there, and
Mhm.
sigil's one type of version, and if it works for you, you keep it there going and keep using it. It would be my opinion on it.
Right.
It's just how
Right.
you communicate with the sigil. What I saw
Right.
there was you do more. I think you do more communication with a sigil than you do your other talismans or whatever you may.
Mhm.
Because the one thing I found interesting, and maybe you can touch upon this, is the sigil. You actually don't. You give it a way to communicate with your subconscious to
Mhm.
connect with the outer world to bring you the energy you need. You don't necessarily, as an individual, interact with your sigil. Your
Right.
subconscious interacts with that sigil, and it brings in the necessary, outer beings or energy that's needed for whatever that desire may be, or whatever the goal of that sigil may be.
Right. Right. Now, like, when I wanna say hi to Desiree, I actually had to turn on my Facebook because I didn't see any comments in the StreamYard, so I went on to my Facebook. Hi to Desiree. Dave Cummings is here. Jay White is here. Howdy to everybody.
See, I can't see
And
anybody, so I
Tim is
apologize.
actually online. Yeah, so if you go to my Facebook page, um, you'll see where it says all the comments. Jackie's here. I won't be able to watch for long. I'm at work. Hey Jackie. Hey girl. Hey. Um, so when we talked about getting rid of the sigils, with um that ritual that I was talking about when you're trying to give yourself good luck,
Right?
okay? All that's going to combine into ashes. All right? Once the candle burns down, once the bay leaf burns down, the yarn, all of it, once that burns down, you are going to want to get rid of that. You can collect all those ashes and either A, bury them in the garden in
Okay.
your home. Here we go to burying again. We bury
Burn.
everything. There are no witnesses. Um, so you can bury it in your back garden. You can also take it and like put it in an envelope or put it in something and throw it in a body of running water
Oh,
to
okay.
take it away. So when you put it in your garden, to me, that's more like you're keeping the good luck close to you.
Okay.
So you set your intentions and you want to make sure that your intention stays with you. So by burying it in the backyard or taking it to the garden and burying it, to me that, and that's just to me. To me that makes it come be closer to me. You can also do those for favors for friends. So that same ritual when you take this, the good luck symbol or the symbol that you decide after you manifest or you meditate and it comes to you, or you're doodling and you said that just feels right, you
Hmm.
would take that, which is here, right, draw that on the one side of the bay leaf. On the second side of the bay leaf, you are going to write the person who you're intending it for, right?
Oh. Hmm.
So if I was to bring you good luck, I would do the symbol on one side, and on the flip side of that, I would just put Jim, right? Or Jim S. Is it necessary? Some say that you write their date of birth. I I don't need to know your date of birth. That's all unnecessary. As long as my intention is here and I can visualize your mug right up in here, right? And right up in here,
Don't scare
while I'm
yourself.
doodling your name, I, the intention is set. Okay. Do the same thing, you know.
Mhm.
Say your little blessing, say your spell, watch it completely burn. Now, this is the important part. While you're doing it, you're watching the flame and you are manifesting or envisioning that good luck coming up into the smoke and going directly to you right there.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and then once it's done, I can either sweep it up, bury it in my backyard, or take it to a body of moving water and dump it there. Because we all know that running water or any body of running water is energy
Mhm.
to us. And that's what we do. Okay. Um, so if anybody has questions on the Facebook, the Book of the Faith page, you might want to diddle up on there. Again, please do not make fun of my diddling, my doodles. Uh, that moves us on to the next one, which I've done, arts and crafts. This one here.
Money and
That
wealth.
is for money or wealth. Okay. Money and wealth. Now, listen, y'all have heard me say before, and you especially, bro, have heard me say before that there are a couple things I won't do for anybody. One
Okay.
of them is a money spell, another one is a love spell. All right. Am I saying that you should not be doing them either? No. This is just something that is to me personal. I won't do that because money, if I do a money spell, to me that begets greed.
Hmm.
If I do a love spell and I find out that it works, and then that person that I sent or unnaturally willed to my friend loved her to death, you know, or loved her with his fist, I'm not going to be able to
Hmm.
sleep at night. I'm not going to be able to sleep at night. So, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You go to Miss Nancy or Miss Nichols or Miss, Baba Ganoush, whoever she is, on the street corner, who's got the neon hair like this, up, got 18, 1100 parking spots, and the only car that's in that parking spots is hers.
Right.
Uh, she got a folding card table and two fold up chairs that used to be at your Aunt Velma's house, during the holidays because she didn't have enough seats to go around and have them metal folding chairs around, and a rubber ficus in the corner, that she got from AC Moore when they were going out of business. No, no. Go to Miss Nichols. Go to Miss Baba Ganoush, whatever the heck her name is, whatever the hell her name is. But what you're not going to be doing is you're not going to be coming to me at 3 o'clock in the morning, blowing up my phone because you think because you're awake, I gotta be awake, and you need me to rush to your house right now and get this thing off of you. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I am going to make sure that the karma bus shows up, okay, to teach you a lesson. Not because I don't love you, because I love you to death. I really, really do. But the only way you're gonna learn is
Got to take that hit.
by you're gonna be taking them lumps. You know what I mean here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Some people will do those money spells. And if you're doing money working or you want wealth, you can go ahead and put that sigil. You know what you can do with that sigil? You're gonna write it on a piece of paper. And you are gonna make yourself a money bowl on your altar. I am not gonna teach you how to do it on here because I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna be the butt of somebody who, oh, I got the money that you said I was gonna get, but then I want more, or I became very greedy, or,
Mhm.
I had frenemies coming out the woodworks. I had my 18, 1100 cousin removed on my auntie uncle's side, that they found at the truck stop, asking me for money. And I haven't talked to him since, I was baptized. No, I ain't doing that. No, no. So you can add that on a piece of paper and put that in your money bowl and be happy with it.
Yeah,
Bottom line.
you can bring your own bad mojo.
Br-
Don't expect to get saved. But,
exactly.
you know,
Don't
that's
expect to get saved.
that's the thing where people do these little prayers or symbols or calling for deities or anything like that, and they think they're going to do well by it. But when it's a selfish thing, which
Yes.
I'm seeing that the sigils aren't really designed to be selfish. They're designed for protection and for wishing well to others, but not for the greedy or the
Yes.
lusty.
Yes.
And I think it's when it's like the old it's going back to the not really, but I'm just using it for symbols, the white wolf and the black wolf. If you feed that black wolf, some bitch is gonna turn around and bite you one of these times. And
Listen,
you can't go around doing that kind of stuff.
no,
And
you
that's
can't. No, you can't. Oh, see, my chick gave me all them hearts on the books of the face. Thank you, chick. I appreciate that. But yes,
you don't want to, you dabble, you get in trouble, and you ain't calling sis up at like she said at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, I need some savings, I need some help. I've been on the
yeah,
Bible, I've been
no.
everywhere, nothing's helping me. I need you to help me out of this mess I got into. And
And I'm gonna tell you 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna rebuke you like I rebuke Satan. Okay, I'm rebuking you. I rebuke your phone call. I rebuke your aunt, your uncle. I rebuke your entire ancestral lineage. How about that for right now? Okay, because this girl here got a muggle job. She needs to get to sleep and she needs
right,
to get work.
right.
I didn't will your hand into that bowl. No.
So
Um,
anybody out there thinks they're going to drum up a sigil and then reap the benefits and not expect karma to bite them in the ass or get saved by
I'm
somebody,
telling you.
what I would
I
suggest you
no.
do is you write your name down at
Yes.
8 a.m. tomorrow and say, Buffy, I'm doing a sigil. Here's what I'm working on. And then that way Buffy puts it in a Rolodex and blocks you.
And blocks you. Yeah. Hold on. Wait a minute. Put in a Rolodex. Oh, look. It says block. Bye.
Yes, you don't get saved tonight.
Yes. Yes. What do they do with those vodka lids when they do it on the social media? Ting! And they goes crying across the room. That's exactly what we're going to do. But in the same token, it is all with an intention. Remember that.
Yeah.
So when we do a wealth spell, let's take money out of the equation. When we talk about wealth,
Okay.
we've learned one thing in the many years that we've been doing this is that one must be extremely specific
Yes.
with what their intention is. Okay? Because you just said this. You didn't mean you wanted this with a side of fries and a chocolate malt with some whipped cream and a cherry on top. You did not say that at all, okay? Be very specific. Be careful what you wish for because you will get it. That is the rule
Oh
of
yeah.
thumb, and we all know this. So, if, for example, you're doing a wealth spell, okay? Wealth to the universe means a lot of things. Wealth of family, wealth of friends, wealth of health, wealth of a good job. Um Things like that that are non-materialistic, okay? That is an okay spell to do. You can draw the sigil, right? And put that on your altar with like a pink candle or or a blue candle which stands for communication. All right? And
Mm,
say um and work a spell that says I wish for wealth of communication with my family. I wish for a wealth of health for my family. Um, I wish for XYZ in a wealth way for my friends. Like that. Something that is non-materialistic or is not greedy.
mm.
Um, Remember, just be careful when you're doing them damn sigils.
Yeah, but you said the magic word right there. Don't get greedy. I mean, when all
Don't
of a
be
sudden,
greedy.
right? But all of a sudden, when that $5 bill, just saying the money once, turns into a $10 bill or a $20 bill, and all of a sudden it's a
Be
hundred
blessed.
dollar bill. You pick it up and run. And I call it
Yeah.
the like the slots.
Mhm.
I take up $10. If I win after that, or if I run out of money, I leave because I'm done.
Mhm.
My gambling, my wishing for money is not going to work. So
Right.
you just have to. It's that's where the greed comes in. It's like, oh, I just got that.
Mhm.
Oh magic. What are you doing here? Oh magic money ball. Hold on, let me. Yep, let's go. Here we go.
Oh, money, 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 money.
Right.
Money, money, money,
Yeah.
money. Yeah,
All of a
don't
sudden you're turning green and looking like a dollar bill, and you're in a lot of trouble.
yeah, and don't act like the Daffy Duck on the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he gets really small and Pismo Beach and all the clams we can eat. He opens up the clam and there's Daffy Duck hugging onto a pearl going, I'm independently wealthy. I'm a miser. I'm independently wealthy. No, no. There's so many things I could say, but we would get shot off the air on that one. You know, you have to go to the YouTube page because it's censored. It's for those who are 18 and older. I made sure of it like that. Um, so, and reminder to those who have just stepped in to watch this, these sigils that I drew are ancient sigils. We have also learned that the best sigils are the ones that you come up with on your own.
Right.
They are made with intention. They're made by doodling, and if it feels right, do it, right? That's yours that represents what you want. Okay.
And
Here's
I
the
think
other
that's
one I will never. Go ahead.
I think that's the way sigils should be, from what I'm learning and listening to you. Is
Mhm.
don't go out and grab a sigil that's already been made. Don't go to the index and say I need one for a new car, everything we're talking about, or a love
Mhm.
potion, or my children to be successful. Come up with
Mhm.
something where you're sitting there and it just feels good, like meditation. We did a thing back a couple of weeks ago where how meditation can cleanse the body when you're touching all the body parts, in a state, and you're cleansing yourself. So make it be your sigil. Don't make it be one that's already like Buffy put up one for money and she put up one for inner peace. Now
Right.
I want that one. No, like Buff said, go sit. In my belief, if I was going to create a sigil for myself, I would think
Mhm.
meditation is first of all the number one step. I've got to get in.
Yes.
I got to get into that quiet step. I got to get in touch with myself. I got to, and I treat them like I'm thinking of sigils like crystals. They need an
Uh-huh.
intention and they need to be
Yeah.
cleansed. You just
Yes.
can't just grab and say, I've got, tiger's eye. I'll be well grounded for life and nobody will be coming around and bother me. No,
No, you won't, not if you don't practice.
you got to know what they're trying to do with it and then make that intention known to the sigil
Mhm.
you're trying to develop. And like Buffy said too, I think you'll get more power out of that sigil. But what do they say? With great power comes great responsibility, because now you're in
That is
control.
yes.
You are in control of a sigil of your own creation, that can override you, because it's going to give you that free ride. It's going to, like that motorcycle, the wind in your hair flowing out. Oh, Buffy disappeared. The wind in
I
your
am I
hair.
here? I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, you're
here.
back.
Hello. I'm
You know,
back.
that
Hey.
wind in your hair when you're riding a bike down, it feels so good. I'm just going to keep doing it. Yeah, now. Yeah. So
Yep.
I'm a firm believer in the knowledge I'm developing about sigils is create your own. Just take some time to do meditation. If you're going to do it, that's what you're doing it for anyway. You're not going to unleash this sigil without some type of meditation. It's not like you're just going to go down the street. Hey, I got a quarter. Flip. Yep, it's the money sigil you released. Go get me money.
Yep. Yep. I'm taking it. If it's the quarter, I'm taking it, you know? And I wanna remind people just what Bro said. He made the statement, "With great power comes great responsibility." Do you know where that came from?
Do I know where
Bet
that
you
came
can't.
from?
Yeah?
I,
Other than
it's,
your mouth?
I,
Other than your mouth?
I know it. I can see it, but I can't.
Ah, oh my goodness.
Great power comes great responsibility. Oh man, I can see it. It's got me. If you know, I'll give up.
Okay, so it's much older than you think it is, if I know what you're thinking. That statement was made by Merlin to Uther Pendragon
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
he was trying to conquer. And it was also Churchill, but he got that from Uther Pendragon and Merlin.
Okay.
It is when Merlin, the Uther Pendragon, who was a king, went to Merlin and asked him to put a glamour spell on him so that he would think there was a queen who was from another warring side, and he wanted to bed her. So he made Merlin put on a glamour spell, which made him look like her husband. And this is how, King Arthur came about and all of that good stuff. But he also made sure that Uther Pendragon paid for that. He said, "You must understand, with great power." He wanted him also to make him win the war, right?
Oh
To
yeah.
put a magic spell on all his enemies so that he would win all the wars and take all the land. So he did make him remember that before he did the spell, Uther Pendragon with um and I just lost it. With great power comes great responsibility. He was warning Uther Pendragon of his demise. You just want and you want and you want,
Hmm.
but who is to pay the price
Right.
at the very end, right? But Dave, you are correct. It was also Winston Churchill who also said that. With great power comes great responsibility. And I think that's something that we should all learn from. Um, so don't be money hungry, don't be greedy
No.
when you do your castings, especially with sigils. And of course the sigils I'm doing are what I learned from my nanny and from family members long, long time ago. And they learned these sigils from their descendants or from their ancestors. Making it your own and sitting on it and thinking of your own sigil and what it represents to you and using it in your magical working is the best that you could possibly. So, we're going till Jimmy comes back, 'cause, like, Jimmy just got stuck on onto this. This one right here is I'm not this a love spell.
Am I stuck?
All right, this represents love. Okay, I froze. I well, we were both stuck for there. Great power comes a heart attack by PT2.
Oh,
You may be right about that, Tim. But here's another one that is something like I wouldn't do. Okay, this is love. Okay, this is two separate. You can have either or. Okay, love of self right here is a single heart. Um, or if you go the ancient way, it was with swans because we know that swans are one of the very few birds that mate for life. When you get two swans together, they mate for life. And when one passes, it's not long before the other dies. All right. So if you want lovers or to find a love, it's this one. Or this one, the double swan. That's another one I won't do. That's part of your love spells. Why am I so big? Does this mean we getting ready to get shot off the air, sir? Look at me. I'm gigantic and you tiny.
I'm Tiny Tim. God bless us, everyone.
Tiny Jim. Welcome to the world to Tiny Jim.
What are you?
You can see what my nose was.
Yeah. Trying to get out of this box.
Wow.
I'm trying to get out of the box.
Step on the backpack. Okay.
The box is solid. Even the top is hard.
What are you trying to do, sir? I want to know what he's trying to do.
Trying to break out.
Trying to break out. All right. So, real quick, other two or other couple, we'll go real fast with these because we're running over time a little bit. Okay. So you already saw the love spells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which are the two hearts or the two swans. Okay. Tripped on my flip-flop. He tripped on his flip-flop, making our camera go cattywampus. I would have expected that from you, bro. Not him. But
I thought when you were saying tripped on your flip flop, I thought Lucy was on there being a smart ass because I trip on them all the time. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna come on here one night with a broken arm and be like, "Oh, I tripped on a flip flop."
You better not put no more casts on your arms, on neither of them. Okay,
by stepping on a pop top.
By his foot, yeah. All right, Jimmy Buffett. Here is my greatest work of art, right there.
Feminine, my spirit mother.
You will see a lot of these in metaphysical shops, statues,
right.
Necklaces, bracelets. That is one that stands the test of time with every pagan spiritual practice. There is that symbol and it means the same exact thing. There are That's purdy. Like he said, that's purdy. Thank you, Cap. That's purdy. That is the symbol for the divine feminine. It is also the sign for spirit and the sign for mother. Okay. That swirl on the inside is supposed to depict her womb or a vortex into the spirit realm. The reason being is because in a great many of spiritual paganistic practices, women are held in high regard because we are the only sex that can shepherd a spirit from the spirit realm to here with a baby. Right? So that is why they are held in high regard, is that women are known to have one foot in this plane of existence and one in the spirit realm. And that is how we shepherd spirits from one side to the other. Is that, they believe that it comes from the spiritual realm, the baby,
Right.
right? In spirit form,
Mhm.
gets implanted, and boom, baby. Okay. It is also the sign of strength for female. All right. So you may see
Yeah,
symbols like that.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. You watch me get into the spirit. Team spirit. You may also find that symbol with a Buddha belly, which is the pregnant mother. She is the symbol for mother. All right.
Okay.
She stands for fertility, pregnancies, babies, all kinds of stuff. But she also stands for Mother Gaia. You will see a pregnant female as a symbol for Mother Gaia, or Inamaka, as the Native Americans would say it, Mother Earth. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, they believe that the earth is female in spirit. All right. Hold on to your hats. Here we go. The
Mhm.
horned god, the divine masculine and man.
That's a pretty good portrait of me.
Is it? Did I get the horns pointy enough for you, bro?
Yeah. It
Lucy, did
is.
I get them horns pointy enough? That is to show that, well, Jesus, without, there is no divine female without her partner, the divine male, the horned god. Uh, in our paganistic practice of Wiccan, the female is depicted as what you just saw, and then the man is the horned god, the yin to the yang. Okay. And then this one here, called a triskelion. Triskelion talks about balance, the balance between spirit, body, and mind. And it reminds us, here you go, triskelion. It reminds us that when we do any kind of magical working, that we are reminded mind, body, and spirit always, and that those three things are paramount. If you are not right in your mind, you are not right in your body. If you are not right in your mind and your body, your spirit ain't right, honey.
Mhm.
You can't do anything without those three things being in sync with each other. So you shouldn't do any practicing without your mind, your body, and your spirit all being in one spot, in a good place. I will not do practice. I will not do spell work if I am sick. If I am overtired,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
I'm grouchy, because unless it's to create chaos magic, and then I can be grouchy as I want. You know, I'll even be hangry at that. Okay. This is the last one of the last ones, where everybody seems to get it wrong, and as soon as they see this symbol right away, devil worshiper,
Oh
whoa,
God. Here we
call
go.
the police, devil worshiper, and then we start getting drowned with holy water.
Right. Yep.
This is a pentacle, okay? It is different from a pentagram. The pentacle, all right, has the circle. Pentagrams do not. Okay. It is a sign of protection. Us in this practice of Wicca wear these a lot, right? Each point represents one of the elements: earth, air, fire, water. The one in the center, spirit, us, and how we are completely connected to all the energy in the world around us. And what we do to this circle. So if we want to be rotten, this energy of the earth feels it.
Mhm.
And that's not right. Okay? So please, if you see someone wearing one of these,
Don't panic.
don't panic. Don't panic and be like, hey, God, the devil worshiper.
Right? Yeah.
This with, or I can do it this way because it's even better, kind of like this. With it pointing down
Right.
is what Satanists wear around their neck.
Mhm.
Okay. It is a sign of Baphomet. Even that's not bad, to be totally honest.
No, Batman's not bad.
Baphomet, the horned god, the goat man, the
Okay.
long point going down refers to the beard. The two are the horns on his head. You will see pictures of Baphomet with two fingers up and two fingers down, symbolizing as you do here, as above, so below. What you do on this plane of existence affects the next realm.
Yeah.
And it also has the hospital symbol. I can't for the life of me I can't remember what that
Oh,
symbol is
the
called.
serpent
The
around
serpent.
the,
Science. It is based on science. So don't get it twisted, okay?
oh, it's easy to panic. It's another one of those
I
symbols
hate
where
people who
everybody
just
panics
don't
on,
understand.
and they panic on the inverted crucifix. So it's stop panicking over what you're looking at.
Yeah,
Know what you're.
the inverted crucifix is a sign of Saint Peter.
Thank you. But I'm just saying, what I'm
Good.
going with what you're saying too is don't panic when you don't
Yeah,
understand a symbol.
don't
If you
panic.
want to panic, you better have the gumption or the balls to go up to the person and say, "Why are you? If you think it's a bad symbol, why are you wearing that? Why do you have
Yeah.
that? If not, shut your eyeballs,
Mhm.
walk straight, turn right, and get across the
Right.
street and get away from us."
Right.
Just
Why do you have a Star of David around your neck?
yeah, it just
Why do
drives
you
me
wear a
nuts.
cross on your neck?
When people see symbols they don't understand, or they already have a predetermined definition for them. They're like,
Right.
oh, So I remember you telling me one day you were wearing your jewelry, and a little girl came up and asked you about it, or the mom panicked, and
Mhm.
then you took a moment to explain everything, and the mom was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, pretty cool," you know.
Yeah.
But it took a
Yeah.
little girl of what I think you said she was 7 or 8 years old to have the courage
She was
to
about
say
7 years
something.
old, yeah.
Yeah, to say something,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden the mother just to say, "All right, here's a teaching moment. Let me talk to my child,"
Yeah.
and somebody who's
Mhm.
willing, as you are, to say, "Here's what it means. Here's what it does. And here's what it symbolizes." So
Mhm.
if you take it like you said, like the way you showed it, and you invert it completely, then we go to a whole nother conversation.
Whole 'nother conversation. And the same thing with, like you said, the upside down crosses. For those of you who don't know what the upside down cross stands for, and you only think that it stands for Satanistic practices, you're totally incorrect. That was taken from the Christians by the Satanists. So
Yes.
even the Satanists are wrong when they do something like that, or if a Church of Satan should have a sign or symbol like that, which many of them don't. It's only those made up ones, the cult ones that have
Mhm.
the upside down crosses. That's a sign of Saint Peter. And if you
Yes.
remember the story of Saint Peter did not feel he knew that he was going to be crucified for spreading the word of God. He did tell the Roman guards that he knew that he was going to be crucified, but he didn't think that he was worthy to be crucified in the same way as his teacher, Jesus Christ. So that he didn't want to be crucified in that same way. So you know what they did? They crucified him upside down.
Mhm.
So that upside down cross is a sign of St. Peter. There is a technical term for that, and I can't remember. It begins with a P, bro. What is that? Upside downy crosses.
Yeah, I can't.
Ah,
I
let
can't.
me see.
But if I show this, see if I can show this. Oh, that's gonna show.
Mhm.
That is
Oh, yeah.
that is the cross of Satan. For everybody who's never gotten it straight,
Yes.
never figured it out, there it
That
is.
is the cross of Satan.
Even the Satanists don't even know how to use their own damn cross.
No, they don't.
So, educational moment brought to you by the Wonder Twins.
The Wonder Twins. There you go.
But yeah,
Oh,
I can't think of the
Petrine cross. That's it. Petrine cross. It's
okay.
called a Petrine cross. It's a symbol of Saint Peter. Um, and the lasties, but this right here is the triple moon. You have two crescents that are flanking a full moon.
I just
They
saw this
stand
one.
for the stages of the female, right? The stages of a female. Um, if you belong to a coven or a group of witchy women who celebrate your birthdays, right? Or your coming of ages, there are three stages in a woman's life.
Right.
There is the maid, from the time that she is considered a woman, which is usually around 12, 13, all the way up into until the time that she gets pregnant, right? Then she becomes the mother within stages where they're allowed to or they're capable of giving birth. All right. Usually at that 40 stage, when we call it going over the hill, we enter our crone stage. The maid is considered to be naive, the fun loving, free spirit of the young child, right? Or the teen, right? And then when she gets into the childbearing years or winds up getting pregnant, falling in love, getting married, having babies, or even if she's not and she's pregnant, then she is considered the mother, the one who has exceeded a little bit of knowledge, right? Well, when you turn between the ages of 40 and 50, then you're given a different party, and it is called your crone stage. This is the last hurdle of almost at the end of your life, right? So with me, I have entered my crone stage. Crones are the wisest. They are the ones who become the teachers to the mother and the maid. If you are in a coven at a certain age, you become a high priestess. You become part of the judiciary board. There is a judiciary board for those who follow roles. And they are usually made up of 7 women who are over the age of 40. Those are the crones, and the crones will sit as judge and jury
Hmm.
on if you are brought up on charges, and there are rules. If you are in a coven, you can be brought up on charges. You are brought in front of the high priestess, and then they see, it's like court when the accuser comes forward and said, "Hey, I saw her doing XYZ, which is against the rules of the coven and XYZ." Now, we're not talking about death or anything like that,
Right.
but you can be expelled from a coven real quick by going against the guidelines of the coven, right?
Did not know that.
So, yeah, and those 7 crones will sit as a jury and a judge. The high priestess is mostly the judge. Uh, and she will turn to her jury, which are the crones, and they sit and they mull over it and they hand down the sentence, right? Whether it's expulsion for doing something that is gravely against the rules of the coven, or getting a suspension of some sort, or being told they can no longer do something, that they're stripped of some kind of title. Now it takes 7 years and many, many tests of practicum, things that you learn within the coven that's handed down. There are proxies that will give you tests. Uh, and if you pass each test within 7 years of study, you can then become a high priest or a
Holy
high
cow.
priestess.
Wow.
We do have males in our covens. However, covens are considered mostly matriarchal, which means They can come and become part of the coven. They can actually sit on the jury, be considered part of one of the crones. But it is if they are ones that follow strict guidelines, which there are many, they can never become a high priest.
Okay.
So it's a high priestess. They are mostly matriarchal. There will be some that will fudge and say, okay, if we think you got, we're digging what you got, we know that you're going to be like a good El Presidente,
Hmm.
we'll vote you in, right? But understand that you lose some of your power being a man. That there are certain things that only women can cast down. Period. That's that whole going back to the whole spirit thing and the with the and the little swirlies and the bellies, boo, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So this is where women luck out. But anywho, I did all the jabbering tonight, hun.
You did.
I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't mean
no,
to.
this is your bailiwick. This is right up, like I said, I did a lot of learning on it,
Mhm.
um, to see, the do's and don'ts, understand the meditation to it, trying to understand and grasp how it doesn't really talk to you, but through your conscious, and then bringing in the
Mhm.
universe to help.
Mhm.
So you really don't. So that's the other scary thing about a sigil. When you create it or you give it the power that it's supposed to have,
Mhm.
you're unleashing your subconscious in the universe. Two things we can't control. And when you can't control the
Mhm.
energy that goes in, the trouble is abound. And so there were things that I was
Yes.
learning with it tonight. I apologize that you did a
Mhm.
majority
Element
of
of
the time.
P, partridge in the pear tree.
But so when you're learning about these things and their meanings and their possible damnation of you or destruction of you, um,
Right.
albeit small or whatever, like go back to the money one, all of a sudden you're broke and everything, but you just got to take like with very careful what you're doing with these things because you're dabbling in areas that have people who can even limitly control
Mhm.
your subconscious and the universe. I believe that
Right.
buff probably within your abilities that you have some um, access, limited control of the universe and what it can do or can't do.
I would
I,
yes. I
but that's what I'm saying. It's like somebody like me. I'm just gonna, if I do a sigil that's like three inner circles, three outer circles, and a line going right down through it, that means money to me. I can't
Mhm.
control what's going on in my subconscious in the universe that's helping.
That
That's the
is
thing I
correct.
think you were missing with sigils is
Mhm.
you're not creating I'm throwing my quarter down the wishing well and I'm going to get
Mhm.
my wish, or I'm standing in Italy and I throw my quarters over my shoulders at the fountain there, and I'm going to get my
Mhm.
wishes. No, we've said it.
No.
Your wish and your karma's riding your wish. And depending on how
Yes.
that wish goes and what you do with it, karma's either going to bitch slap you or she's just going to clink your little ear and say, "Gotcha, bitch. Let's stop
Gotcha,
it next time." So
and walk away.
that's where I see sigils and symbols, and
Mhm.
I kind of equate them. Um, like I have my crucifix.
Right.
That, in a sense of itself, is a sigil
Mhm.
to a
Yep.
degree. It's
So
also
is mine.
considered right. It's also considered a talisman. It's that gives you the power of the belief. Right there, you go.
I don't know if you can say it. My triquetra.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yep. That is part of my Irish heritage. Who would have
Right.
known that I would be wearing a piece of Irish jewelry? Ah, you know,
Edinburgh.
Erin go bra, yeah. Erin go
Read me a
bralin.
forte. Read me a forte, friends.
Yes.
But yeah, so
Oh.
it's a lot to learn, and I think it's a lot more cautious than you need to be with not a whole lot difference, but like some you go to somebody with tarot cards and you want a certain wish to come out on tarot cards, or you go to some other kind of
Yeah.
that you don't do enough research on, that you don't say, okay, I got to go in
Mhm.
here with good intentions. I can't go in here with selfish or bad intentions, and that's a problem at the human level. The universe is fine.
Yes.
The symbols are fine.
Yes.
The human level
Mhm.
needs to be fixing itself and say, okay, that's why, you know what? I am going to pray I wake up tomorrow and have another good day. You know,
Mhm.
that's about as far as I'm going to really go. I'm not going to pray for. Now, I will admit, when I was in high school and grade school, I would always pray that I could beat the mailman home with my report card. But other than
Oh,
that,
wow. Oh, wow. You're one of those. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm aging myself. All you guys probably
Mm.
got your report cards online and they were released in 30 seconds. You were still in school.
Yeah, mine were all written in pen or pencil,
Yeah.
and they were handed to you.
Oh no,
Handed to
mailman
you.
had. I remember many times telling my mom I'd stand by the mailbox at the house. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, you know, I was thinking about a career. I think I want to be a mailman. I just want to see what it looks like to deliver mail."
And I'm sure your mom bit that hook, line, and sinker, right?
And she
No.
walked away. She walked away going, "Okay."
Okay, Jimmy, you do that. You do
Means
that.
another bad report card's coming.
Oh boy. I got a question from uh Desiree goes, "Oh my god, who still uses the Rolodex?" This girl still
Hey,
uses
hey,
the Rolodex.
hey! When the power goes out and you need to make a phone call, who's got the number? The Rolodex people.
This one here,
Boom.
excuse me. Let me find it. Let me find it. Hold on for a
Right?
second. And are you going to post the pictures and meetings later? I will later. Probably this coming weekend. I will post on YouTube, and I will post those pictures and their meanings as well. I didn't have a lot of time this weekend to be able to do that. But you are correct. The best sigils are the ones that you machinate yourself,
Hmm.
because it has more meaning. It has your power to it,
Right.
right? Don't be greedy. And sigils are art. They are very much art for me. I am actually going to get some family sigils that my nanny made up, that are just specific with my family,
Good.
and some of the Theban alphabet, and I'm gonna get tattoos
There you go.
that are specific to me. I have a whole idea lined up that I want them coming out like a vine, and have vine work done up and down my arm with the sigils coming out of my arm, coming out of the vine
Hmm.
with like leaves, as part of my spiritual practice, and that are very important to me
Good.
and make me who I am as a person. Um, is it for everybody? No, it's not for everybody. So I think this warrants either a part two, and we can talk about runes if you want to. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm good for that.
alchemaic sigils as well. We can learn a little bit about alchemy if you
There you
want
go.
to, and how
Runes
alchemy
out
fits
to me.
into magic. But you have anything else you want? You got a goblin out there, sir?
So I do have a small goblet.
Okay, bring it
Um,
on. Give it to me.
so
Give me. I love you, goblets.
so we've talked about sigils and we've talked about their symbols and what they can do for you, like the money, the love, the inner peace,
Mhm.
happiness, and all that. But what I found was, and Buff, you probably this will probably tilt your scales here, but there are basically five types of sigils. You have intention sigils. These are most commonly seen in the internet right now. They are sigils created to help you manifest a desired outcome or energy, like prophecy, gratitude, have a great job interview. The next one is a course, but it also says here that they will not do the work for you. Sigils will not do the work for you.
No.
So the next one is a correspondence sigils. These are created to connect with the person energy of something in order to have access to something or its energetic signature. Examples would be earth, air, fire, water, or any of the planetary bodies.
Yes.
Then you have the name sigils. They're sigils that
Mhm.
are created to connect to a specific person, place, or thing. And then you have linking sigils, which are specifically created to form a link between one thing, a place, or another. And then the final
Mhm.
one is a combination I've been saying sigils. I'm sorry, sigils.
Signals, signals, signals.
Describe so the combination. Stop it! I'm not done yet. Combination sigils. These describe the act of combining sigils for multi-purposes or either overlapping them on top of each other or tracing the result, drawing them next to each other, and Jesus, gosh, and or all right, hold on. Describes the act of combining sigils for multiple purposes by either by overlapping them on top of each other or tracing the result, drawing them next to each other and touching or taking a part of each sigil. The creating of a new sigil shall form from these parts. So it's really, yeah, the combination was the most complicated one. That's crazy. But there they are. That's the basic 5 sigils. And they're
Mhm.
talking slapping up her love sigil.
These are the 2 that are connecting. When we talk about connecting
Right.
2 people,
Oh,
persons,
the
places,
combination. Okay, the combination. Yes. Okay.
right there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I would say I'm going to go off on saying here, if you're going to do these, I completely agree with the meditation. Get yourself honed in, think about what you're doing, then reach out for a sigil. These can be um, dangerous. They can lead to problems. They're really designed for 2 things, which is desire and lust. And desire is a positive, lust is a negative. And lust, I mean, just the word itself promotes negativity and not good. So be careful what you're doing with your sigils. If you don't know, don't go.
Yes. So, and also be careful what you wish for. You just may get it, damn it. So, don't be out there, asking for wealth and having your 18th, 11th cousins show up that you haven't seen on your mama's side since you were baptized and be like, I heard you came into some money. With just your luck. You know what? I sure would, you know, I did it for a friend in the army. Um, you know, I need some help or I need some money. No, no. And don't be
Right,
greedy.
right.
Don't be gosh dang greedy about all that good stuff. You shouldn't be greedy about it.
Karma.
Sigils are made. Yes, karma. Look, beep, 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 vroom, vroom. Watch it come. Beep, beep, vroom, vroom.
Zip, zippity boo.
What did you do?
Exit
Do you have anything?
stage right.
Yes. Do you have anything else you'd like to say? Ah,
No, I like this new platform that we're doing here.
I do
Um,
too.
and is I shall say, why am I talking like that? That's weird. Okay, I shall say.
Uh,
If any,
I
we
feel
haven't
like you're
done
going to
this.
give a presentation in a
I
boardroom at
know,
some
right? We
point
haven't
with
done this in a
that.
while. So if anybody wants to be a guest, come on and talk about sigils. We're going to talk about runes next week. If
Yes.
you want to come in,
Yep.
send us a question, send us some information, send me a cheat sheet or something like that. I'm spiritsearcher649 at gmail.com. Spiritsearcher649 at gmail.com. Like I said, me and Buff, we love having guests. And look at this. It's pretty cool. We can see each other. We can chit chat.
Yep.
Um, but another good one, Buff.
Amazing.
Great topic. And do you have anything to add?
This is Margie's topic. I can't take all the credit. I just can take the credit for the Bob Ross School of Doodles. I mean, what can I say? I just doodled. She came up with the topic, and poor Margie couldn't even stay. She got stuck at work. So hopefully she'll go back and listen to this or watch this. Again, you are correct. We love special guests. you have a topic, you wanna, talk about it, you wanna be on the show, please, my, email is ghostwhisperer318@gmail.com. That's ghostwhisperer318@gmail.com. Crickets, man, crickets! We're hearing
No.
crickets, crickets. I'm tired of cleaning up the cobwebs and the crickets with no mail, and I do the hello, and I get an echo. So we look for good topics like this. Thank you, Margie, for this topic, and there will be more on maybe a Sigils part 2 or the difference. Well, we could do runes next
Right?
time.
We can do
The
that.
Vitanorisks and the Vikings, Valhalla.
Until Valhalla.
Cool, cool. Yeah, and
Oh.
I'll be singing my Fever Ray song while we're doing it. Um,
Try to get
anywho,
out again. Try to get
you
out.
got, you
Try
got
to get
anything
out.
else you need to say, bro?
No, it's time for chicken grease.
This is chicken grease. I love doing this. I miss this so much. Thanks to Tim, our producer, for putting this all together that we
Absolutely.
can see
Thank you,
each other.
Timbo.
Timbo, great job as always. And as we always say, you know what? We love you all. Blessings to everyone. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye.
Bye bye, everybody.
There he goes. Listen.
Good night.